West Ham have not lost at home since January, 4 months down the lane. West Ham is now going to welcome Arsenal in a match that could define both the team. Is West Ham going to relegation? Is Arsenal winning the trophy? This match could define our entire season. So before I start talking about names, let's talk about what is at stake in the, at stake here, because people have not yet understand how difficult this game is, and the discussion about lineup have not gone deep enough. It's a decision Arteta is about to make that will define if he took a giant step forward, or a decision that we could look back and say, this was where we fall. My name is Steven, and this is Steven Odenfe Television. Please, if you're new here, please do not just react. Drop a comment and also tell us, do you trust this Arsenal squad to go to West Ham and get all this and get all the 3 points at stake? And please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe. It helps the program, the project, to keep going to more people. Now, this is the area I keep going back to. People keep talking about who to start: Odegaard in, Eze Ant, Lewis Kelly, or Zubimendi. But before I get a single name, let's talk about the system. Because the system is all about the system. Get a shape on. It doesn't matter who you play. Now let me ask you something. What kind of game is this? Think about it. West Ham at home. This team is unbeaten since January 6th. It's not an accident. It's a team that knows exactly how to protect their own ground. What they have built in West Ham is a side that is genuinely difficult to break down. They are compact, they are physical, they are absolutely lethal on the counter. The moment you give them a single space, they're clocking. That's the kind of team West Ham has built. So the question for Arteta is not just who do I pick, but what shape gives us solid enough to not just get destroyed on a break and still give us enough creativity to break them down. And that tension, that is where this game is either win or lost. If Arsenal set up too open, West Ham can sit off, invite the pressure, and the moment there's a single turnover in our half, boom, they've got in. With the quality they have, that's a genuine threat. Now, if Arsenal balance well, we could slow the game down to their pace, give them exactly the kind of low temper they bring in that we can comfortably play with. And no, the London Stadium can always become a fortress. So Arteta need to get a team that is disciplined without being defensive, compact without being passive, and creative without being reckless. That's not easy. That is not easy at all. I actually think that when we look at the shape that he's likely to set up, there's a logic that I think that people are not giving him enough credit for. And there's a moment in this lineup that we think that things could go wrong. That specific decision could cost us. I want to be really honest about one thing. Before I get to the individual position, there's something I need to address. Because I think it explains every single selection decision Arteta is going to make on Saturday. Saka is not fully fit. Let that get into our head. And most important player is not fully fit. The man that when he's at his best, he changes everything about Arsenal. But right now, he's not fully match fit. And this game we are going to play against West Ham is about our biggest match for the league right now. When he's at his best, he creates, he scores, he makes defenders to panic about him on what he's going to do next. But a half-fit Saka, a Saka who cannot drive a full intensity that might be taking off the next 60 minutes, that's a different problem entirely. And if Saka breaks down and Arteta pull him out soon, it's going to affect the lineup so much. And that's a very good warning to Arsenal squad. We cannot continue to build our entire team on a particular player. Now, the question is, Can you leave him out in this game against this opponent? Because I'll be honest to you, without Saka in this 11, I look at Arsenal complete option. I am worried. So Ateta is called start him and risk losing him early. Don't start him and blunt the attack from beginning. But we all know what Ateta will do. He will definitely start Saka. Ateta is a gambler. He will gamble starting Saka. But he needs to be honest. What happened if that decision doesn't pay off? Now, let's talk about the real decision because there are three of them. Three specific decisions that will define this lineup. And I want to go each one. I want to go through each one carefully. The first is what? Odegaard, our captain, back from injury. If the report is correct, he's coming straight into the starting 11. I appreciate it. When Odegaard is fit and sharp, he's definitely irreplaceable. His ability to find the pocket passes that connect the midfield to the attack is a different thing that Eze do not have. He knows how to speed up the game when it is necessary. This is the kind of game where you want a leader, a captain, someone that is been in this big moment before, but is he sharp enough? Or is he going to aggravate the injury issue he's having? That's a different from being fit and from being match sharp. So what do you think? Are we going to pick Ateta? Are we going to pick Odegaard? Or are we going to pick Eze? Because if he starts, he will try not to aggravate whatever that is disturbing him. We might be worse off than we starting from starting someone who is fully fit to go on. Odegaard starts. He's not clearly right. He comes up from 25 minutes. We'll bring us someone less creative. And that 15-minute window that we are readjusting, West Ham can easily sneak in. But anyway, this is my counter argument. I'll be going front and down in this decision. If Odegaard doesn't start, who plays in that center field? Is it Eze? We appreciate that Eze have not really earned the right to start this game, not with what is at stake. So it almost doesn't matter whether Odegaard is fit or not, because the alternative is not really good enough. That's Arteta's logic. I mean, no argument on that. The second one is Eze versus Trossard. I know that Eze fans will definitely disagree with me, but I want to hear from you. Drop your argument in the comment section. Make your case. I'm going to look towards it and attend to every single one of them. Let me tell you the truth. Eberechi Eze always goes missing in a big game. Eze is a talented player. His footwork, his creativity, his decision, his simplicity. On his day, he can be unplayable. But here's the problem. It is never his day when Arsenal needed him most. Against Atletico this midweek, he was completely anonymous. Is he going to step up and be a threat? He's not easily found when it's going to be a difficult time for Arsenal. Midfield role is not that right for him. Maybe Arteta is not using him in a position where he's most dangerous. Maybe the system doesn't suit his natural game. Those are fair arguments. But at some point you have to ask, is he a player that his best performance is in what we are going to do against West Ham? We need flexibility. It's good. But Trossard, in the other hand, might not have the same moment of magic that Eze can give you. But he walks, he runs, he presses, he tracks back. He does the hard work. Just the same way Martinelli works out. And in a game like this, we need everybody to work in every single second. 90% activity. Sometimes the right pick is not the most exciting one. We need to be careful on who we are going to pick. Trossard on Eze. The third decision. I don't think we talk about this enough. Nkapi over Calafiori at left back. Now, Calafiori has been brilliant this season. His ability to pull forward, to join attack, add extra creative dimension has been genuinely impressive. But it is what I think Arteta should be aware of. Against West Ham transition, their counter attack, leaving Carafulli exposed in the left side is a genuinely risk. If he gets forward too much and West Ham breaks, he is completely vulnerable in that West Ham attack. Nkape is defensively solid. He doesn't take the risk that Carafulli take. So the decision to go with Nkape or Carafulli is left for him to choose. But bear in mind that if we go with Carafulli, we'll be going all attack and risk in defense. But if we go with Nkape, we are going to be solidly in defense but risk the force in attack. I respect every single decision Arteta will make, because when you are going against a team in this kind of form, the best thing you can do is to make sure that the foundation is solid before you worry about the creative force. Now, enough contest. Let me build it for you. In goal, David Raya. No discussion needed. More clean sheets, we'll go home with 3 points. That's the reality of this. What this game is going to look like. I tried back Ben White. Ben White was excellent in Atletico game. He's confident. Against all criticism, he picked his game and he showed back. Centre back, Saliba and Gabriel. I'm really worried about Saliba this season. Sometimes he slags, he tried to be kind of careless about how he played. But nevertheless, Saliba and Gabriel. Gabriel, on the other hand, see to get better when the occasion is bigger. There's something about him in this game. He brings in physicality and his presence that West Ham is going to be seriously against. Led back Nkape. For what reason we don't discuss about the midfield rise. He's going to be facing the club he spent about 10 years. It will make him nervous. It will make him more determined. Lewis Kelly alongside him. I know some people are going to push back about Lewis Kelly, but the 19-year-old in a derby, in a must-win game. But look at it. What he has done in these 2 starts is very, very beautiful. He has been genuinely good, composed, intelligent. He reads the game against most 25 years old in that shirt. You don't drop someone for being good. Anodega at 10, our captain, back to where he belongs. On the right, Saka. Though not fit, but we should start him because we need him. If he breaks down, we'll deal with that when it happens. Up front, Gyökeres. Our number 9, the bulldozer. Let's talk about how it goes. The clinical, composed, and technical brilliance of Gyökeres that we have seen this season is the one we've signed him to see. Is the one we signed him to be. And now in a game where a chance might be limited, when we might get 1 or 2 real opportunity, you want that clinical man at the end. And on the left, Trossard. The magic leg over Eze, over Martinelli. Because in this game, in this system, against this opponent, West Ham, his work rate and defensive contribution matters a lot in his creative output. That is my 11. Now, let me tell you how I think this game will play out. Because picking the team is one thing. Understanding the game is one thing. Arsenal will dominate possession at the first half. I genuinely believe that. They have always done that. West Ham will sit in their shape, let us have the ball and wait for their moment to press. The question is, what do we do with the ball when we have it? This is why Odegaard's sharpness becomes critical. If you find in pocket, if he can connect right with the forward line, if he's moving the ball quickly enough to break West Ham defensive shape, will create chances. If he's slow, if he's taking one touch too many and shaking off the injury, West Ham can contain us. They can be defensive solid. The other key moment, set pieces. Game like this, tight derby game, close defensive battles are so often defined by set pieces. Right delivery, Gabriel runs, moment of quality that breaks the deadlock. That is where I think that the goal may come from, at set piece. Or a moment of individual quality from Gyökeres on a tight space. And if we score first, then our Arteta defensive setup will become even smarter. Because suddenly, West Ham will now come out at us. And the space is open up. And the counter-attack becomes a weapon that we can utilize. But if West Ham scores first, it will get messy. Because Arsenal will be pushing carelessly. A defense without structure will all go all attack for them to equalize and look for 3 points. That is why not conceding in the first 20 minutes matters so much. That is why Nkape is starting. That is why Arteta is being reserved in the full fallback, because the game is planned to keep your solid defense and let the front do the work. Now, here's my final thought. We talk about big games like this, some magic formula. Pick the right player, set up the right shape, win, and come home with your 3 points. But there's something that does not show up in every lineup. It doesn't fit in a tactical structure. Does this Arsenal team actually believe they can go to the London Stadium and win? Because I've watched them in big moments this season. I don't see that belief, that conviction. They always sometimes lack. But, sometimes they don't trust themselves enough. Saturday will tell us which version comes up. Is Odegaard going to be good? If Luis Scully is going to be not to be overwhelmed from the occasion, is Saka going to be creative enough to push us across the line? Possibly a single goal. If Odegaard isn't sharp, if Saka pulls off, if West Ham scores first and the crowd get behind them, it's going to be one of those nights. But me, I'm backing Arsenal. I'm backing this lineup. But I'm not going to be naive on how difficult this game can be. One decision, one moment, one goal, one player who set up in times of decision. So tell me, do you think Arsenal will go to the London Stadium and win? And which player is going to be the most likely different in this game? Please drop it in the comments. And please, if you're enjoying this project, subscribe, comment, and also share. It goes a long way to help us. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Till we meet again.